One day after firing a new hypersonic missile into Ukraine, Russian President Vladimir Putin says that his country has a stockpile of powerful new missiles ready to be used. A New York judge indefinitely delays President-elect Donald Trump's sentencing in his criminal hush money case. And after the International Criminal Court issues an arrest warrant for the Israeli Prime Minister, Downing Street suggests that Mr. Netanyahu could be arrested if he travels to the UK. I'm Helena Humphrey. Good to have you with us. The British government indicated on Friday that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu could face arrest if he travels to the UK. It comes a day after the International Criminal Court issued an arrest warrant for Mr. Netanyahu over alleged war crimes in Gaza. A government spokesperson refused to comment directly on the case, but said that the UK will fulfil, quote, its legal obligations. Well, Mr. Netanyahu was accused of committing war crimes in Gaza, but has blasted the ICC's allegations, accusing the court of bias and anti-Semitism. Meanwhile, the United Nations says that 2024 is the deadliest year on record for humanitarian aid workers operating in conflict zones. The agency's Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs says that the wars raging in the Middle East account for most of the 281 deaths recorded this year. Well, in Gaza, the agency says that humanitarian workers face, quote, extraordinary risks as they deal with constant bombardment in areas where their services are essential. 333 humanitarian workers have been killed in the region since the conflict between Israel and Hamas began. The model has accused US rapper Kanye West of sexual assault for his actions on the set of a music video in 2010. The model, Jennifer Ann, claims that Mr. West choked her until she blacked out. Ms. Ann's lawyers says that the incident caused her severe harm to her career and her emotional well-being. Mr. West has yet to comment on the allegations. Let's turn to some other important news around the world. The first aid convoy in months has reached Zamzam camp in war-torn Sudan, where famine was declared in August. The camp in North Darfur is home to tens of thousands of displaced people. More than 18 months of fighting between Sudan's army and the paramilitary group, the Rapid Support Forces, has triggered one of the worst humanitarian disasters in the world today. Federal officials approved a plan that will allow New York City to start charges a 9-year dollar toll on cars driving into Manhattan starting in January. It's part of an effort to reduce traffic and improve air quality. The congestion charge was inspired by one already in place in London. The original plan was to charge $15, but that was axed earlier this year. Thousands of passengers had flights delayed or cancelled after Gatwick Airport was shut for several hours due to a security alert. Bomb disposal experts were called in, and a large part of the southern terminal was evacuated after a suspected prohibited item was found in luggage. 2 people were briefly detained. The airport has since reopened. Queen Camilla will miss the Royal Variety performance on Friday as she is still recovering from a chest infection. Earlier this week, the Queen returned to public duties, receiving an honorary doctorate from the University of London. But doctors have advised that she should prioritise rest to fully recover. The King will attend the show as planned.
Let's have a look at some of the papers for you. The front page is many leading with the UK economy taking a hit. This is The Times reporting on a new survey of businesses which shows private sector activity falling to a 13-month low.
Away from economic news, The Telegraph leads with US President-elect Donald Trump's threats to sanction the International Criminal Court over its recent decision to issue an arrest warrant for the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
Let's have a look at The Eye reporting on the surge of weight loss jab cases in hospital. It says nearly 300 people have needed treatment following purchases of weight loss injections made over social media.
And The Sun leads on the Princess of Wales inviting children who survived the Southport stabbing to her Christmas Carol concert. It says Catherine met the survivors privately last month.